Download this code from codegive.com, link in the description below. Sure. Zabbix is a powerful open-source monitoring solution for network and application performance. One of its key features is the ability to set up triggers and actions that can send alerts based on specific conditions. With Zabbix 7.0, you can create sophisticated alerting mechanisms to ensure that you are notified when things go wrong. Overview of triggers and actions in Zabbix. 1. Triggers. A trigger is a logical expression that evaluates the status of monitored items. When the expression evaluates to true, the trigger is considered to be in the problem state. 2. Actions. An action is a response that Zabbix takes based on the state of the trigger. For example, you can configure Zabbix to send email notifications, execute remote commands, or even send messages to chat applications. Setting up triggers and actions in Zabbix 7.0. Step 1. Create a trigger. 1. Log into the Zabbix web interface. 2. Navigate to Configuration Hosts and select the host for which you want to create a trigger. 3. Click on the Triggers tab. 4. Click on Create Trigger. 5. Fill in the trigger details. Name. Give your trigger a descriptive name, example CPU load high. Expression. The expression defines the condition. For example, severity. Select the severity level, example high. 6. Click on Add to save the trigger. Step 2. Create an action. 1. Navigate to Configuration Actions. 2. Click on Create Action. 3. Fill in the action details. Name. Give your action a name, example notify on high CPU load. Event source. Choose triggers. Conditions. Define when this action should trigger. For example, you can set the condition to match the trigger. Trigger equals CPU load high. For operations, define what should happen when the action is triggered. Go to the Operations tab and click on Add. Operation type, choose Send Message. Send to users, select the user or user group that should receive the notification. Message, customize the message that will be sent. You can use macros to include dynamic data. For example, click on Add to save the operation. 5. Click on Add to save the action. Example, sending alerts via email. Let's create a simple example where we send an email alert when the CPU load exceeds a threshold. Trigger example. Action example. Name, send high CPU load alert. Event source, triggers. Conditions. Trigger equals high CPU load. Operations. Operation type, send message. Send to users, admin. Message. Step 3, test your configuration. 1. Simulate the trigger. You can artificially create a high CPU load condition or adjust the trigger threshold temporarily to test the alerting mechanism. 2. Check email. Ensure that the user specified in the action receives the email notification. Conclusion. You have now set up a trigger and action in Zabbix 7.0 to send alerts based on specific conditions. This allows you to monitor your systems proactively and respond quickly to issues. Remember to review and fine-tune your triggers and actions based on your monitoring needs. Further tips. Use macros. Take advantage of Zabbix macros to include dynamic information in your alerts, example host name, trigger name. Adjust severity levels. Use different severity levels to categorize issues, making it easier to prioritize responses. Review action conditions. Fine-tune the action conditions to avoid alert fatigue by ensuring that only relevant alerts are sent. With this tutorial, you should be well on your way to using Zabbix 7.0 effectively for monitoring and alerting. Happy monitoring!